Welcome, soccer fans, to a beautiful evening under the lights here at Slagle Field. Tonight, it's a thrilling matchup as the Washington Wildcats take on the Sumner Academy Sabres in what promises to be a high-energy clash of high school soccer talent. With fierce school pride at stake, both teams are ready to leave it all on the field. Stay tuned. We've got kickoff coming up next here on the Kansas City, Kansas Public School Sports Network. Hello, everyone. I'm Chuck Holmes, and I'm here with my partner, Coach Larry Fennell. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good. Chuck, how about yourself?
I got a new knee, so I'm not doing too bad. But we're here tonight at beautiful Slagle Field for an interscholastically team matchup between the Sumner Academy Sabres and the Washington Wildcats. We'll bring you interviews with coaches and players as part of our matchup coming up later. However, let's jump right into it. Let's talk about Washington first, Coach.
Let's talk about Washington, Coach. Well, let's see here. They're 0-7. They're trying to get their first win. It's not short because they're not trying. It's just sometimes it doesn't work out well for you. You don't come out on the winning end. But right now they're still trying, and they have another opportunity to try to do that. As a coach, all you can ask for is another opportunity to get out there and try to get a win.
Absolutely. Well, there are two players we want to watch tonight. The first one is number 6, Adelaide Tumakunde.
Adelaide is a very good forward up there for the Lady Wildcats, and the Sumner Sabres know all about her, so they're going to have to pay attention and know where she's at and know when she's touching that ball. And she's going to be looked upon to try to get a goal out here for the Lady Wildcats today. Chuck?
Now across the pitch, she needs help.
She does need help, and her compadre on the other side, the other forward right there, Miss Moda. Yeah, I don't want any trouble there, but both of these two young ladies are capable of scoring, Chuck. They just need an opportunity. They need the midfielders to set them up with good passes, good touches, to get them in a position to get the goalie out of position or the defender and to get a goal in. So I think they'll be okay today. They're going to try to do that.
Absolutely. You mentioned earlier that they're 0-7, and they've only scored they scored 2 goals this year, and both of them have been against Highland Park.
Yep.
If you look at the standings here, you see Sumner's on top at 10-0, followed by Wyandotte and Slagle, and then Harmon, and then Washington comes in at 0-7. But before the players hit the pitch, we had a chance to catch up with Washington's head coach, Monica Cabrera Johnson.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Pep Talk. I'm Marco Johnson, and I'm with
Monica Cabrera Johnson, the coach.
All right, Coach. What's been one of the biggest challenges this season?
One of the challenges was to have a new assistant coach, and we opened the position, and it's going to be a female. That is going to be very beneficial to integrate the girls and the relationship with a female assistant coach.
What's a good way to keep the team motivated?
I think it's to understand them, but also to let them know that soccer is a sport that is going to be a mean to realize how it's going to be the challenge in real life, so they can prepare for real situations. The better that they are dealing with the situations in the game is going to be better, and also they are going to have more opportunities and work because the companies are looking for team players. So soccer players, any person that has been in a team are going to have more opportunities than someone that has not been in a team.
That was Coach Monica Cabrera Johnson, head coach of the Washington Wildcats. Well, now, let's take a look at this dynamic Sumner team, Coach. This undefeated Sabre team comes in tonight's matchup with a 10-0 overall record. And, Coach, these girls can put the ball in the back of the net, as we see here.
That they can do, Chuck. These young ladies are very, 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 very good scorers, as we can see with their record of being 10-0. You don't get to 10-0 without scoring some goals, Chuck.
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. We see how they move the ball around, how they share. They're not selfish, and they can use either leg to score with, and they're very aggressive with the ball.
Yes, and that's the key. When you're a forward, you must be aggressive at all times as a forward, and because your job is to shoot on the goal.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw that right there. When, it was 6-on-1. She still took control, and here we see here And she's able to get loose, find the back of the net once again. So Sumner can score.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it that they can score.
Yes.
And if we look at their record, we see that they put up a lot of points. What impresses me about this graphic, however, is the number of points they have given up. They've only given up 3 points.
You know, I like good defense.
I know, man.
I like good defense.
I know. They beat a very good Lewisburg team 2-1 in the tournament. They also beat a pretty good Shawnee Mission North team. And that Highland Park team, they beat 10-1. And I'm like you earlier, I don't know if that was Highland Park's, they scored first or was it a mercy goal?
I'm not quite sure what happened, but whatever happened in that game, we can see that the Sumner Academy, the young ladies are Sumner Academy are very, very good.
Absolutely. Hey, there are 2 players we really want to watch for Sumner, however, though. One of them is number 19, Abigail Robledo. She's a freshman.
She is a freshman, and she is a dynamic scorer. You know, she's up there as a forward, and when you're a forward and you can score the way that she scored, good things are going to happen. And she's just a freshman, Chuck. She has 3 more years to go.
I know, and she's scoring like this. You know, she's also got a compadre that can also score along with her.
A fellow freshman. Once again, the KCKPS is going to have to deal with these 2 young ladies for the next 3 years, and if they're 10-0 right now, they're only going to get better.
So Flora Vidal is the 9th grader we're talking about here. She's also a prolific scorer.
Yes, she is. She is the other forward up there with Abigail, and you know, as we can see, as we saw in those highlights earlier, both of those young ladies are capable of putting the ball in the back of the net.
And they are not shy about doing it either.
At all. At all.
Okay, well, you know, we had a chance to sit down and talk to the Sabres head coach, Megan Schmidt. So let's hear from her real quick.
Hello, everyone. I'm Marco Johnson, and once again, this is Pep Talk, and I'm with
Megan Schmidt, the head coach of the Sumner Academy girls soccer team.
All right, Coach, how's the season going so far?
Season's going great. We're currently undefeated. We just came off of a tournament win out at Turner High School. So far, kind of exceeding expectations and doing what we want to do.
Chuck, tell me, how's that happen? How does something like this happen where you're this successful already?
Just hard work in the off season and chemistry between the girls. They came out all summer, came to camp, we played in a tournament, and they're just really bought in and ready to work hard together, and it's really showing on the field.
I love that. So give me a challenge. What's been a big challenge so far?
I mean, like I said, we came off of that tournament win where we beat Shawnee Mission North and Lewisburg, so some really good teams, and just keeping them motivated and keeping their heads in the game to kind of look forward to playoffs later in the season.
Speaking of being motivated, how do you keep this going?
Just making sure that they're having fun along the way. Like I said, they have great chemistry. They're all great friends, so just ensuring that they're working well together and they want to be out here and great things can happen.
Our thanks to Coach Johnson and Coach Smith for taking the time to chat with us in Prep Talk. Get ready for sports sparks to fly and cleats to clash tonight. Grab your snacks, settle in, and don't blink. This showdown's about to kick off, and anything can happen under the Friday night lights. Kickoff coming up next here on the Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools Sports Network.
Our kids are getting to experience the Body Venture exhibit put on by the state of Kansas, and it has 11 stations that they just get to tour through and learn about different parts of the body.
This exhibit is a traveling exhibit that goes around the state of Kansas. We hope to do somewhere between 60 and 75 schools this year.
They're given a piece of food, and then they just learn what happens to that food as it travels through the body.
Each station they learn about different food groups, protecting your brain, how to have a healthy brain, your teeth, stomach, small intestine, heart, how to have healthy lungs, bones. You have a section on skin that we talk about spreading germs and how to protect your skin. In the mouth, they get to actually set on teeth, large teeth, and they get to brush the teeth. So it's really more hands-on than someone just standing in front of them talking about, you know, the small intestine or bones.
As part of our health and nutrition unit, we're teaching the kids about healthy choices and just teaching them those skills for hopefully that they will use growing up. And so just to put it all together, why not experience and tour the human body?
The size of it, it makes it really interesting. And our stations, there's 11 of them, and each one of them is, they're only in there for 5 minutes. So it's not like they're somebody just standing in front of them showing them pictures.
When they walk in and see this huge human head, they're thoroughly excited.
Hey, we're here at Slagle Field. Beautiful night here, Coach. Had a little issue earlier.
Just a little bit.
Little technical issue with some of the stuff that was happening here, but no, shouldn't affect us, shouldn't affect our game tonight. Sumner Sabres will be in their traditional blue and silver, and Washington Wildcats will be in their white with black trunks. Looks like they will be going from left to right, where the Sabres will be going from right to left. So we're looking for a good, exciting game tonight.
Oh yeah, we can't wait. It's a nice evening out here, nice and crisp today. The sun is out now. No rain.
Yeah.
So, I'm happy about that, Chuck.
We know the forecast earlier, it called for rain,
Yes,
and
it
so we
did.
weren't sure what we were going to get. We didn't know if we were going to get cold and cloudy and rainy or what. We had no idea, but it turned out to be a beautiful evening. We're going to see if the Wildcats can put something together here to try to slow down this Sabre juggernaut. My goodness, these guys can score. These girls can score.
It's going to be a tall tale.
I'm telling you.
A tall tale.
And we look at the starting lineups earlier, and then we're looking at, we talked about the Sabres and their stellar record. They've only given up 3 goals. They've got a junior in goal. Her name is Stephanie Soto, and she is outstanding.
Yes. When you've only, as a goalie, you've only given up 3 goals all year. That's pretty good. It is pretty good.
And with Sumner's defense too, it really makes you wonder how much work does she really get.
That's right. That's right.
She may only had 4 shots on her all year long too. You never know, but I got a feeling she stopped a lot more than that though. So,
at least 3 of them.
Exactly. So we're underway as Washington will control the ball. Here come the Sabres already on the attack as they're looking to take advantage of it. Ball's pitched out towards the middle. Sabres once again being aggressive with the ball already in the kill zone. There's going to be a wide open player there. She's racing down, trying to get to the ball. She's able to, not able to control it. It's going to be stolen away by Washington. And here comes Sumner once again being more aggressive, taking the ball away.
That'll be a throw-in for the Lady Sabres.
Sabres with the throw in. Coach, we saw in the pregame the highlights that they had. There's a wide open shot here, right on goal, right off the bat.
There it is, right off the top, right there.
bat.
We see that nice little touch right there by Flora. We talked about her earlier today, but we also need to let everybody know that she can pass the ball. That was a very good touch pass right there.
Yeah,
Check
we've
this
just
replay
less
out
than
here.
less than 1 minute into the game. Flora's already done it.
And there it is, cross goal. The goalie was trying to protect the goal on that side, that left side over there, and she just went right across.
It's tough to do as a goalie. You really can't. There's not much you can do when you don't have much defense in front of you.
Right.
And so Washington really has to do a better job of transitioning over. We listened to Coach Cabrera Johnson doing her pep talk, and she's got a brand new team basically.
Yeah,
she's
it's
got a new
all
assistant
new.
coach, so they're trying to learn the game.
Yes.
They're trying to learn the game, her style, and they're trying to be more aggressive. Now we're looking at Sumner, and Sumner's a well-oiled machine.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. We're looking at the transitions from defense to midfield and midfield to the forwards, as we saw earlier with that score. And here we go again. We got that ball over to the left corner right there, and so we're going to play it inside. And it's a good defense right there. But that's the thing that the Lady Wildcats are going to have to deal with. Right now, this ball hasn't crossed midfield yet, and we know that game earlier this year, the ball didn't cross midfield. So
Absolutely. And Cornejo trying to center it, kicked out by Wildcats. Sumner picks it back up. Cornejo once again. She kicks it out this time. It's going to be see if it's going to be a throw-in for Washington. So we shall see as the ball comes rolling back inside. It's going to be a free kick for Washington.
Free kick, Washington. Okay, so it must have been a Sabre that touched it on
Yeah,
the way
I think
out.
Cornejo hit it on the way out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I tell you, number 2, Cornejo, I like her so far. She's been really aggressive over there. You can see where the offense runs through her on that side of the pitch.
Yes, it does. Yeah, they're making a point to get it to her over there as well.
Once again, the ball is stolen away. That's going to be a left-handed shot, left-footed shot. That's going to be wide.
That ball last touched by the Sabres.
So it's going to be a goal kick for the Wildcats as they try to improve on their 0-7 record.
Yes. If it looks that way, let's see how it's a goal kick. Okay, so we're trying to check the wind out here as it's blowing in our face right inside the booth here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a goal kick there. Not a very good one. As Sumner's able to pounce on it. The drive hits the yellow goal post.
Oh.
Hit the doink.
Oh,
She's
that's the
playing
doink.
football. She got the doink.
That's the doink. The doink is out of the doink is considered out of play.
Indeed.
Goal kick again.
Indeed. Now, if you look how Sumner, look at the field, and all you see a lot of blue jerseys. They're all got blue jerseys everywhere over here.
Yeah, this Sumner's defense is pushed all the way up. So
Yeah.
those midfielders are deep into that zone with the defenders, and as we can see, that's still right there, and that's one of the reasons why they do that. It's maximum pressure on the offense.
Sumner controlling the ball, about to kicks it inside. Nice, good footwork, able to squeeze around, and here comes that score from the side. She's already scored once. Then a nice stop by the goalie, but I think she may have been inside the goal.
We're waiting for
when
the
she
flag.
stopped that.
Waiting for the flag. I guess no goal.
No goal.
Ooh.
Not sure. From this angle, it looks like she was past the goal line when she stopped it.
We are a little ways away, so we're not
Yeah.
quite sure, but it did look like that ball just kind of snuck in that corner.
Right there.
I guess not.
Yeah.
It's on the line. The line is not over, so this is soccer.
That's true. Now Washington trying to get a little aggressive as they're able to get the ball across the midfield for the first time. Once again, Sumner's collapsing defense, able to take it away from them. And here come the Sabres, looking to run. See Cornejo by herself on the left side. More good footwork. Again, here comes Sumner. This one's going to be out. It's going to be a corner kick for the Sabres.
Looks like the Wildcats and the Sabres are going to have to produce a little brother or a little sister to retrieve these balls. The game's going to get shut down here shortly.
We're going to run out of balls here pretty soon. The way Sumner's firing them over the place over there. It's going to be a goal kick for the Sabres. And she's looking right into the sun. Towards the goal. Knocked away. Good defense. And, oh, she's able to grab it just before it goes across the goal line.
Good job,
So
goalie. Way to stick with it. That's good work right there by the goalie. Quick feet, dive, stop that ball from going through that, going across that line.
yeah, that's Lewis in the goal for Washington. She's made 2 good saves from the last 2 shots from the Sabres. And once again, here come the Sabres again. And this time she's unable to do it as the ball just whistled right by her head on that one.
And that was a thunderstorm.
That was a thunder leg, as they say. She fired. She cocked that left leg and let it fly. Yeah, that replay, man, is going to show. It may go fast enough we didn't even see it on the replay.
Oh, yeah, they went quick right there.
I mean, it went flying through there.
That ball was quick.
And it's tough for the goalie at this particular time because she's looking right into the sun.
Yep.
And see here, that right
She
foot.
turns in and
She didn't see it till it got
She
right up
did.
on her.
Yeah, that sun is tough.
Yep.
For all of you at home listening to us, that sun is right in the goalie's face because they're going right to left.
Sabres now lead it 2-0 here at the 34-15 mark here in the first period. Sabres are showing off why they are 10-0.
That's right.
And a prolific scoring offensive team. Here come the Sabres again, able to get the ball up. This time it's going to be misplayed by Washington. Sabres with control of it. Calling out to play. Going to set it up across the middle. She's wide open by herself. She's got to have some help. She's over there with Cornejo. Cornejo unable to center it up right away. And it's going to be a goal kick for the Sabres.
That ball last touched by the Wildcats will be a corner for the Sabres. Mia Terrasas to take the corner. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we are live broadcasting tonight.
Students from Arrowhead Middle School are bound for Orlando, Florida. Well, they will compete for a chance to be national champions. The students that you see on the screen here, these students did an outstanding job of qualifying for the national championship. They completed recently in the Great History Challenge. This is a nationwide academic competition that covers U.S. and world history, geography, civics, and famous historical figures. The challenge is patterned after the popular TV show Jeopardy! It's a fast-paced event that tests students' historical knowledge, critical thinking skills, and the ability to analyze historical events. Arrowhead students participated in the regional championships at Avila College, where they went up against 40 other talented students from Kansas and Iowa. As a result, they have qualified for the national championships for the Great History Challenge in Orlando, Florida. And we will travel there in May. Congratulations, and we wish them the best of luck at the national championships. So congratulations to those 6 young men and women
Good stop.
Nice save by the
Good
Wildcats
stop.
goalkeeper.
So once again, another good
Shot on goal
stop.
by Mia Terrazas.
Mia with the shot. But once again, another good save by the goalkeeper from Washington. She's getting a workout here
Oh, yes.
early.
And we knew that coming into this. We knew that the Sabres would take a lot of shots on goal on the Lady Wildcats. And as we've seen, so far that ball has not crossed midfield except for one time.
And it was quickly taken away by that time. So here come the Sabres again on the attack. Got to cut down the corner. Conejo over there by herself. No one's coming over to help her out. And she's going to be able to center it, and it's going to be a nice, and she just kicks it wide.
Wide left a little bit.
Yeah.
Take a look at this replay right here. As there was another shot on goal by the Sabres, and that's the one thing the Wildcats are going to have to do. Oh, no, shoes and balls flying.
Cornejo intercepts the ball, not the shoes, but she intercepts the ball.
Or maybe that's a cell phone.
Not sure what it is. But once again, here come the Sabres on the attack. A little challenge this time from Washington, but still able to control it. You can tell the Sabres here, they also not just play high school, but they play club soccer as well.
Yes.
You can look and tell. You can see the difference. Goalie comes out able to scoop it up.
Not quite sure what the goalie is missing, but she's missing something down there.
May have been her shin guard came flying off. Not sure what it is, but she's
Hopefully they get the ball across the midfield and give her time to pick up whatever came off. We can't really tell what it is from
an
here.
equipment malfunction, but she'll get it together. Nice kick out towards
Nice kick.
midfield. And here comes Sumner doing what they do best, taking control of the ball. Yeah, a little pressure on the defense. Now here comes Sumner again as they're streaking down the sidelines. You know, Sumner's team also has a lot of speed.
Yes.
A
Yeah,
lot of
they
speed.
they play well together. As we see another goal right there.
And go for Vidal with another goal.
Hey,
I believe that's her third. Is that her third one?
that would be her first goal, but 2 assists.
2 assists. That's right. As we watch here, you know what we're seeing here. We're seeing Washington is letting Sumner easily set the pace.
Yes.
They are easily letting them get the ball to the center, and if you get the ball to a midfielder, good things are going to happen.
Yeah. The defense is at the mercy when that ball gets to the midfielder, or gets to the center of the field. Now everything is available to you. If you keep the ball on one side, you can set your defense and overload your defense to protect yourself. But if that ball stays in the middle, it's hard to protect the entire field. You know, soccer field's pretty big.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of room out there.
Yes, it is. And Sumner, so far, Sumner doesn't know that. They've only used half of it.
That's right.
You know, Washington, they've only used half of it, but it's been their half, unfortunately.
It's been their half, yeah.
Which has been their half.
Yeah, that was a situation right there where the Lady Wildcats should have just flipped the field, just dropped the ball down into the zone and make the goalie come over and get it, and everybody push up to try to flip that field. Oh, and there is another goal again. Once again, we see that the ball is getting in the middle of the field, and there is a nice touch pass. And you know, we're seeing a display right now. We knew that the Sabres were going to do this because we see this replay right here, and a nice little touch, and there it is, right across. Goalie was shielded a little bit by one of our own teammates, and we just went to the left side, and it's pretty tough.
Well, now, do we have a mercy rule in soccer?
I am
From the
unknowledgeable of a mercy rule in soccer.
Okay, from the 10-1 score I saw with Highland, I would say no.
Oh.
But then again, I don't know.
You never know. Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know.
Well, in any case, Sumner, again, back on the attack. It's almost like a practice scrimmage game for the Sabres.
Right.
And, you know, when you have a varsity that is this good, it helps make your junior varsity even better.
Yeah, it does.
Because they practice against each other.
Yes.
Every day.
And there's a pipeline, right? So all the young ladies that are coming up along, if they're on the JV, they're probably good enough to be on varsity, some of them, and some of them are not, but by next year, they'll be ready.
Yep.
Sometimes they just need the opportunity.
Good defense this time by Washington. They're able to take it away. Trying to get something going, anything. Sabres, once again, the ball in the middle of the pitch. This time's out to Cornejo.
Offsides.
Offside flag is up.
Offsides. A little early.
Look at this. Cornell just kind of camped out over here on the left side.
Yeah, she's kind of been over there by herself the entire day, and not many times have they come this way with the ball though. So they've gone the other side, and that's where their goals are coming from the center and the right side. Nice touch. Yeah, check this. Sabres team is very, very, very aggressive.
Yeah, they look like they're ready to play during the warm-ups.
I think they were ready to play when they got up and went to class today.
Got that right.
Oh, good save.
Excellent save by the
Nice hand. Nice hand. Good save by the goalkeeper right there. So she's been under a lot of pressure this game. Lady Wildcats to help their goalie out by playing a little better defense as we see. And pass comes in and settled by Floor. And good shot. Good shot. Good hands by the goalie to get that ball up.
Corner kick for Mia Terrazas and the Lady Sabres.
Another corner kick for the Sabres. This one headed away by the Wildcats. Hey, students in the JAG-K, Jobs for American Graduates, class at Carl B. Bruce Middle School are floating on Cloud 9 after an impressive win. This group of incredible, talented, and driven students took home the state title of championships at the JAG-K Development Conference held at the Cosmosphere International Space Museum in Hutchinson, Kansas. Students had to focus on several rigorous core competencies, including self-understanding, organizational skills, discussion making, character development, negotiations, and more. They also met with potential employers, developed a resume, practiced on interviewing skills, and they will participate in job shadowing, internships, summer jobs, and opportunities. So congratulations to these exceptionally gifted students. We've got about, let's see, what are we looking at here? Just a little bit over 26 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Sabres lead at 4-0, looking to add to that score. Yeah, that was going to be blocked. Might be a handball on that, but they didn't call it.
That was a good head right there. That was using your head above and beyond.
Yep. Sumner, once again, looking to find the back of the net. Ball is centered. Midfielder has it left foot. Now a nice save by Washington's goalie. She's got her workout this afternoon.
She is getting her workout for sure. It's going to be a throw in by the Sabres right there as that ball goes out.
Beautiful evening here in Sligo.
Yes, it is. Oh, handball. Ball got a little high.
This one they called.
That handball.
They missed the other one.
Can't call head ball because there's no rule against you using your head. But you can't use your hands.
That's true. That is so true.
That is the one thing you cannot do.
Yeah. Well, here comes Sumner again. Oh, just wide.
Just outside.
Sumner's looking for a fifth goal here in the first period.
Shot on goal. Goal kick for the Wildcats.
I think Vidal may be going out. Her leg may be tired.
She might be tired from all that kicking that she's been
her leg may be a little tired. She's limping over. Her leg's got a little. Yeah, she's been doing a lot of kicking.
A lot of kicking.
Oh, yeah, look at the difference. You look at Sumner's bench, and they've got like 5, maybe 6 additional people, and Washington's bench is really thin.
Very thin. So, very thin.
Here comes Sumner again, looking to score. Across the middle, kicked away.
And this is a time that you normally hear.
Again, but this one's going to be kicked out of bounds.
You normally hear all the coaches on that side, the Wildcats, clear it. We don't care where it goes. Get it out of the goal.
Just get it out of the box.
Get it out of this box. We don't care where it goes, but you can clear that ball. Get it out of here.
Yeah. All right, it's going to be a goal kick. A lot of standing around, and some of the Washington players aren't even looking at the ball. They're kind of facing the other direction. You know, so she's able to clear it out. And when the goalie does kick it, very few people move. They've gotten it across the pitch at least once.
One time.
Well, twice.
Well, there's been twice.
Yeah.
Didn't stay very long.
Yeah, but here comes Sumner again.
Didn't stay very long.
This was a head-on shot, but she's able to stop it.
Yeah, I would like to see the Lady Wildcats just try to clear this ball just one time to the other end. Just clear it. Doesn't matter if keep it in or not. Just clear it. Get it over to the other side.
You know, the thing about soccer is, too, you can take your time.
Yes.
You know, give your defense time. Give your offense time to get set up. Once they kick it and the goalie has it, she has X amount of time where she can walk out, get her offense set. And Washington's offensive players, you take off.
Yeah.
Because Sumner's defensive players will have to follow them.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
They would have to mark up. So if you're moving around, you would force them to chase you and mark up.
Exactly. It's going to be a throw in for the Sabres. Once again, intercepted. Sumner doing what they do best, getting the ball inside. Yeah, with it. And she turns. She scores.
She turns, and there it is.
Great job of getting control of it.
Yes, that was good control right there. That was a great pass. And what we're seeing right now is we're seeing the Lady Sabres just make good passes. They're just doing things that you're supposed to do as a team, and we're seeing why they're undefeated. By the way they pass the ball and work, we see this little touch right here, and she gathers herself and turns and fires. This is when the goalie is at a disadvantage right there. You know, your defenders need to do a little more work to help out.
Yeah, goalie, no help, no opportunity whatsoever to square up, to even get the opportunity to try to make a save. You know, it shows how aggressive Sumner is when they get the ball too, and they're not being dirty about it.
No, they're not. They're
just being aggressive.
They're playing their game. They're doing what they need to do in their game. So.
Absolutely.
You know, we just need the Lady Wildcats defenders need to be a little more aggressive and go after that ball.
Well, you know, earlier this year, Sumner they beat Washington 9-0 earlier, and so this is nothing new for them. They've seen this. They know what Sumner can do, and so you would think after a while they've got to pick up on some of the things that Coach Johnson talks about in practice, especially when it comes against this Sabre team.
And we're saying this Sabre team's a good team. Huh?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
They're ranked in state for sure.
Yeah, they're number 12 in the state.
I think they've moved up.
Did they move up?
9 now.
They're number 9. I want to know who the other 8 teams are in front of them.
That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know.
Who are the other 8 teams in the state that are better than they are? You know, because these girls can play some soccer. They can put the ball in the back of the net. I would put them up against some boys teams.
Oh yeah, they're pretty good right now.
Yep, I would put them up against some boys teams. And it looks like Washington is able to get the ball across midfield.
Hey.
Here we go. And it's promptly taken away by the Sabres. Sabres do a good job. They do a good job of getting control of the ball, looking for the open person, and then their midfielders and their scorers will run.
Yes.
They put pressure on the defense immediately.
Maximum pressure. Maximum pressure. That ball hits midfield. All the Lady Sabres are moving to their spots to make themselves available for a pass. And that's the key. You know, it's not that you pass the ball. Sometimes the receiver has to make themselves available for a pass.
Exactly. Okay, here come the Sabres again. This one's going to be kicked out. It's going to be a throw-in.
The last touch by the Wildcats will be a throw-in for the Lady Sabres.
You know, one person we haven't talked about, Stephanie Soto.
We have not. We have not.
Forgot she was on the field. Goalie for the Sabres.
We have not talked about her yet.
I thought I saw her down there eating a sandwich.
Yeah.
And maybe drinking a cup of Cokes. I'm not sure. Yeah, but anyways.
I'm not surprised she doesn't have a lawn chair over there, just hanging out.
She looks like she's on her phone. Can't really tell.
Yeah, no texting during the game.
Anyway, she's cheering her Sabres off. She's loving this offense that the Sabres are putting out there. I tell you that. She's loving it. You know, and you know, we listened to Coach Smith doing her interview, and two things that she said that really stuck out to me on her interview was the girls have bought in to this program.
Yep.
And they're having fun.
Yeah.
And you can see that on the field right now.
And that's what's key. You know, as a coach, you need for your team to buy into what you're telling them, what you're selling them, basically. You know, so we always say, hey, we know better than you do, but do we?
Yeah, absolutely. Do we?
Sometimes the question is, do we?
Do we? Another nice save by Washington's goalie. She's able to kick it out. trying to clear it. See, Lewis has had her workout back there tonight. Shadows starting to come over the field. And I just can't get over how beautiful a night it is here.
Yes, it's real nice.
Especially after they forecast thunderstorms and cold and cloudy.
They can cut a few miles an hour off this wind, but other than that, it's very pleasant.
You can't have everything, man.
Well, I mean,
you can't have everything.
I want it all, Chuck. I want it all.
A month and a half from now, there'll be a hot breeze, and you'll be like, "Where's that cool breeze at?"
I will never complain about the heat.
Like I am. I can take the heat. I can't.
Yes, I will complain about the cold all day, but I will not complain about the heat.
Really, I can't put on enough clothes to stay warm.
No.
I can sure take off enough to get cool.
And everything hurts.
Indeed. Yep. Sumner again. Looking to. Yeah, it's stolen away, and another goal, another shot on goal.
Offsides. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's a tough offsides right there. That ball didn't even move from where it just kind of went straight up.
Yeah. Hey, Washington High School students received brand new uniforms and equipment totaling more than $15,000 thanks to a special grant program called Future Run Team Grants. This program is sponsored by the Brooks Shoe Company, which aims to ensure that all athletes arrive at the starting line with the appropriate gear. Future Run Team Grants support underserved high school cross-country and track programs with running gear and financial assistance. As we see the Sabres score again, the boys and girls track team received new shoes, shorts, tops, sports bras, track equipment, and a $1,000 financial award. Grants are awarded twice a year prior to cross-country and track and field season. The Wildcats team was selected as a grant recipient for the 2025 track season thanks to Washington's girls coach Kimberly Rollins, who applied for it. Congratulations to our Washington High School track athletes who are very deserving of this grant. So outstanding job, and congratulations on that grant. We saw Sumner score again.
There's that replay right
there. Replay again.
You see, she kind of sets her up and it makes her think she's going to go left, and she shoots to the right.
Well, Coach, we've talked about it so far the whole time. It's so easy. Once they get the ball to the middle,
yes,
it's death.
Yes.
They're going to score. And once again, the ball is in the middle.
Yes.
And Washington's defense is not very aggressive when it comes to that. And you and I both know that, as coaches, one of the things we hate to see is that when a team kind of gives up.
Yes. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, and it looks like right now that, the score is 6-0 here, and we still got another 17 minutes to go here in the first quarter rather. It's like Washington's giving up.
Yeah, that's tough. It's tough, especially when you're outmanned or outwomaned in this case. And, you've already played them before, and it hasn't started off well for you, and now you're back behind the 8-ball again, and it's tough to keep your morale up.
Well, Coach, we both coached in situations like this where we've had some teams that weren't very good.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do as a coach? If you're Coach Johnson, what do you do to get the girls excited for next year?
Well, the one thing a coach always has to do is you have to give the same energy when you're down and the same as the energy you give when you're up. So as long as you're continuing with that energy and being positive and pointing out the positive. Now, I'm not saying you can't point out the things that are wrong, because you do, because they can't correct it if they don't know. But you always want to kind of harp on the more positive side and see if you can't get them a little more motivated and a little more intensity.
Because after all, there are still, I think, 5 more games they have left.
I think it's 5 more. Yeah,
they have 5 more left for the regular season. Because I know we're doing at least 2 more later on in May, as we prepare for the school season to be over, and so you hope to see a little bit more effort out of them next time.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what you're looking for right there. That is exactly what you're looking for. So right now we're looking at another goal by the Sabres.
And this goal came from about 20 yards away. She had no pressure whatsoever, and she was able to. Vidal was able just to float it in there with no pressure.
Yeah, and that's the thing right there. The Wildcat defenders are not as aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
The Sabre midfielders and forwards are aggressive, as we see this shot right here from about the 13-yard line.
Yes, from there. Yeah, so you had another 10 on there, about 23-yard kick.
And that's a good spot. That was a good placement. That was a very tough
That's a tough
That's
play.
a
That's a
tough
tough
play
place to
for the
hit.
goalie. It's in the middle of the field, and this ball goes top third on the right-hand side of you. That's a good shot.
Yeah.
It is an excellent shot. Here, this is where I like to see Lady Wildcats just get the ball and just clear it.
Yeah. So here we go. Once again, Sumner filling in the middle. You know, we talked about Sumner's prolific offense. You know, this is their 67th
67th goal.
I mean, they're averaging almost 7 goals a game.
Yes, to 3.
They're giving up 3 goals. They're
It's giving
averaging
up 3.
7. So they're averaging almost 7 goals a game and giving up less than 1 goal.
Yep. That's the reason they are ranked 5th in 5A, and they're ranked 9th in state overall.
Oh, my gosh.
So they're 5th in 5A.
Yep.
And they're 9th overall. That includes all the classifications. So we're looking at a very, 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 very good Sabres team.
I tell you what, whoever they run into in the playoffs, they're going to be in trouble. Whoever they run into in the playoffs, they're going to be in trouble. I know they beat Lewisburg.
Yes, 2-1.
And Lewisburg's an excellent
And Lewisburg's a very good team.
I've seen them play. I saw them play
And
Spring
Shawnee
Hill.
Mission North 2-1 as well.
Exactly. You know,
Yeah, two very good teams.
Two very good soccer teams.
Yep.
You know, and we're not talking. I mean, there's some very good soccer teams around the area.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
and Sumner Academy ranks right up there with them.
Yep. Yeah, St. James Academy is in the area.
Yep.
So you know they're here. The rest of the schools are not here. There's a couple in Wichita. Well, DeSoto is here too. DeSoto's 8-1.
Yep, they're good
so,
also.
You know they're right around the corner
Right.
from us. But you know Goddard, of course, is in Goddard,
Mm-hmm.
Kansas. You know though they are 11-0, and Bishop Carroll in Wichita. You know they're 11-0. They're a perennial. They're always up top in all the sports at Bishop Carroll down there in Wichita, and St. James is 11-0. You know so.
I tell you, when they do play them, I'm getting my ticket.
Yeah, I'm going to have to come and see one.
I'm going to get my ticket.
I'm going to have to come and check them out.
And I'm a graduate of Sumner High School, but I'm going to be rooting for Sumner Sabres.
That's right.
I'm getting my ticket. Here they come again off the left foot. She's able just to sneak it in.
You know, that was unfortunate right there because the defender, it kind of deflected off the defender and went the opposite direction on the goalie. So that was just unfortunate right there.
It wasn't powerful. She didn't get a real good leg on it either.
No, it was
But
just
she just kind of just a touch.
Yep.
Almost kind of off balance, but she was able to sneak it in.
Yep. A little touch, and then we'll
Well, here
see.
it is.
We'll see the Wildcat.
Oh.
Yep, right off the Wildcat defender's
Yep.
foot, and just misdirected it just enough to get the goalie out of position.
And when she says, "I'll take it,"
Hey,
I'll
a
take
goal
it.
is a goal.
That's right. In the scores books, it looked like I came from 60 yards with it.
Yep.
But I'll take it.
No one will know.
Yes, indeed. So Sumner leads it now 8-0. You know, we're talking about those other good teams in the league. I mean, in the state, and there's some good soccer here. Period.
Yep.
On boys and girls side, but especially on the girls side. So, and all those teams that you mentioned earlier, Great Bend and Bishop
St.
Carroll,
James and
St.
Goddard
James,
and Bishop
yeah,
Carroll.
They're all prolific.
DeSoto.
They're all prolific scoring teams.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and so when you get to teams like that are also prolific scorer like you are, now let's see what type of defense you have because you really haven't had much
work.
game opportunity to play defense.
Exactly. Yeah, you haven't had to play that much defense. You know, you've only given up 3 goals. There's nobody that's really scoring on you outside of 2 teams that are pretty much equal to you. You know, so
and also
we beat both those teams 2-1.
Yep. And also what comes into play also is conditioning,
Yes.
where you're only playing on half the pitch.
Yes.
And then when you have to play a game, when you have to play the full pitch, then that becomes a completely different atmosphere, completely different thing. Oh, just bounces off the rim, trying to get control, and she's able to grab control of it.
Good job. Way to stick with it.
Apparently, it hit the top of the crossbar. Hits the top of the crossbar, but does not cross the goal line. Once again, no
Right
pressure.
here, there's no pressure, no defenders anywhere within 4 or 5 yards of her.
None.
You know, and just luckily for Lady Wildcat, she hit the crossbar.
Yep.
She hit the pole.
Once again, Sumner looking to put pressure on. There's a nice tackle. Going to be kept in bounds by the Sabres. Sabres leading 8-0. We got about 11 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in the first period. I don't know, Coach. I just see a lot of standing around.
Yeah, and it's tough.
Yeah.
Chuck is tough. At 8-0, with 11 minutes left to go in this first half, it's pretty tough. And the Sabres are really just kind of working on their game by passing the ball around, trying to set up other players. And what I've noticed is the ball is staying on one side. It's only staying on the one side of the field. So what the Sabres are scoring from that side. They're scoring from the middle of the field, or they're scoring from the right side. As the Sabres move right to left.
You know, with Carnejo patrolling on the left side, she just runs up and down the sideline.
Yeah.
And when she gets it, she looks to pass to the middle because her midfielders are streaking towards the goal.
Yes.
And when Sumner Academy, they have two outstanding midfielders that know how to handle. They can handle the ball when they get it.
Oh,
got a little whistle from the referee.
Yeah, she inadvertently got the foot high. It's a free kick. She got the foot high while she was trying to head it, and that's a no-no.
Haven't heard much from the young men in yellow tonight, which is a good thing.
Well, they haven't had an opportunity. The ball keeps going into the net. There's no need to do anything when it stays in the net.
That's true. Once again, towards the middle, and nobody there by herself.
And there's another goal. There is that right side. There's the left side this time.
Left side this time.
So yeah, it's and this is tough because you want to tell the Lady Wildcats, hey, you got to be a little more aggressive. You got to get up on the ball. And what we're noticing is they're not even getting up close to the ball, and the Sabre defenders are on the other side of midfield.
But what we're seeing here also is a lot of ball watching.
Yes.
Ball watching.
Yeah, there was no one there to help the goalie, so that backside defender should have fell down into the net to help your goalie out as the goalie is defending the left side of the net.
Okay, let's give a warm KCK Public Schools shout-out to FL Sligo's Lauren Sage. Lauren Sage, a biology and environmental science teacher, was named a Region 3 finalist for the prestigious 2026 Kansas Teacher of the Year Award. The Kansas Teacher of the Year Award honors exceptional teaching in the elementary and secondary classrooms across the state. As a finalist for the Kansas Teacher of the Year distinction, Sage will receive a $2,000 cash award from Security Benefits, the program's major corporate partner. This nomination marks a significant milestone in Sage's career, recognizing her outstanding contribution to education. Congratulations there, Lauren Sage.
Congratulations.
You know, my wife's, her goddaughter was once, back in the day, Kansas Teacher of the Year.
Nice.
Yeah, so.
Teachers don't get enough love and respect.
No, they don't. They put up with a lot, and they have to contribute a lot.
You don't get enough dollars in there.
Not enough dollars in the day. You know, it's one of the
few more.
One of the things a lot of parents don't understand is they think their teachers were always on the clock, and they aren't.
They aren't.
You know,
no,
so when
they have a life like everyone else.
Right. So when they set up after-school meetings with you, with the parents,
yeah,
or they set up after-school programs,
it's on their time.
But it's on their time.
Yes,
and they want you. You need to respect their time.
Yes.
Because they respect yours.
Exactly.
And so they kind of remind me of flight attendants. You know, a lot of flight attendants, they don't get paid until the door closes on the aircraft. You know, but you see them helping put people bags away.
Yep.
You help them find the seats and everything. Oh, that's for free.
Oh, that's free.
Oh, that's free. So teachers do the same thing, and they don't get recognized enough for it. So we need to do that more often. We need to recognize them. And parents need to understand that a teacher, a good footwork there, the left-footed shot just wide of the goal. But they need to understand the teachers have a life outside of school.
Yes, they do.
You know, it's not not their responsibility to do all of that, to be part of what's going on. As we see a good footwork
Watch
here.
this
She stops
footwork
it,
here.
quick stop, and then comes across, looking for the
in.
left foot. Once again, no help.
No help.
No help.
Yeah, that's with any sport. Everybody has to work together.
Again, easy pass across the middle. She kind of lazily thought she had one coming at her. She kind of lazily shot one in there.
That may have been a mercy shot. I'm really trying to take this shot, but I need to take it because the coach is watching.
Sumner leads at 9-0 here. We're coming up on about 7.5 minutes remaining here in the first period. Sumner's been the aggressor the entire match.
Yes.
Washington's gotten the ball across midfield maybe three times.
3 times now.
And the rest of the time has been all Sumner. Sumner's
Good
defense
touch.
doing good.
As we can see, this is This is a well-oiled machine.
Indeed. Here they come again on the attack.
Spacing is good.
And it's going to be unable to keep it in this time.
Look to be close to being offsides, but they didn't throw the flag up, so I won't call it.
I know during Coach Johnson's interview, she talked about, what other teams look for, from soccer players. And she's trying to get them to that mentality where not only do they look at you here, but they look at you everywhere else. They look at your work ethic. They look at you in practice. They look at you in, how you carry yourself when your team is losing.
Yep.
They have a brand new assistant head coach this year, and so they're looking. They're trying to connect on that level as well. But as Coach Johnson, and I know she wants to see better effort than what she's getting right now. And and you and I as coaches, just give me effort.
Just give me effort.
Just
give me effort.
Yeah, just give me effort. Everything else we can work on. Everything else we can improve on. I can't change your heart.
No.
You gotta show me your heart.
we know that very well.
Oh, who's this?
Hey, that was just a pass back.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Must have been a shot because she couldn't use her hands unless it was a shot.
Well, Stephanie Soto.
So there was a shot on goal. We get to call her Soto.
Get to call her name. She's on the screen. So if mom and dad or aunts and uncles are watching, there's Stephanie.
She's out there. Trust us.
And here come the Sabres again, streaking down the sideline. This was going to be kicked away, but Sabres maintain possession. Being pushed off the ball. It's the first time I've seen some real aggression from Washington there. Once again, the Sabres with the ball in the middle of the pitch. Good footwork. And she loses control. And it's going to be taken away by Washington.
That ball last touch by the Sabres. We have goal kick for Washington.
Goal kick for the Lady Wildcats. This was going to be intercepted right away. Cornejo with it.
Oh, nice pass.
Footwork. They moved her to midfield, and she's unable to get a good, clean shot off, but they moved her to the midfield. She was on the side for a long time.
Well, we have a moment. Good luck today to the JV and varsity boys tennis teams who are playing Lincoln Prep Academy.
We're talking about some of the good football, some of the good soccer teams. Sumner, they go across state line. And they play different tournaments.
Yeah.
And they beat a really good Christian prep, a Christ prep team over in Missouri.
Yep.
They beat a really good Price Prep team, and they actually shut them out.
Yeah.
So that shows you how good they are.
Yeah. So we do know that they can play defense.
They can play defense.
So
and this team here, this Sabre team, they're all freshmen. Not all of them, but the prolific scorers are freshmen.
Yeah,
they got one senior that they start.
one senior. Yeah, we talked about that senior earlier today. So, but everything else is freshmen. So the league is going to have to deal with these young ladies for another 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
And generally you will get better as you get older.
You hope.
and you play together more.
Yeah, you hope they get better. Oh.
You get better. And as we see somebody with the camera fell down.
Yeah.
Wind's high.
You were talking about the wind earlier.
The wind is high.
Yeah, so the wind gets up beneath those cameras and kind of
move them around.
They kind of get a life of their own after a while, And so
at least it's not a bounce house.
Indeed, I'm just glad you and I are covered up.
Yeah, I'm glad we're covered up too.
Yeah, we're in a nice press box. Got look at the breeze blowing, and stuff. So we see Coach Smith, and she's out there directing traffic as if she's not happy already with a 9-0 lead.
Now there's just small things that we worked on in practice. Let's try to execute this play during live action.
And I don't know about you, but all the other coaches that I know and that all the other coaches that I've coached with, we're not real happy when we get games like this because there's really nothing for us to coach on.
Right.
And the kids kind of quit listening.
Yeah.
Because they look at the scoreboard and says, we're none of nothing. What are you talking about? And so they quit. They quit kind of listening. So give me a 1-0 game. Give me a 1-0 football, not 1, but 2-0 football game. I'll take a safety and no points on that. I could coach the whole game on that.
That's old school Marty Schottenheimer ball right
there. That's right. 1-0 baseball game, 2-0 football game. Yep.
You've been out there for 6 hours. It's 1-0.
1-0. And you hear people talk about that with baseball. They talk about, baseball's so boring. It's this. give me a pitcher's duel.
Yeah.
You give me two guys out there that are dealing.
If you understand the game and appreciate the game, you will like a pitcher's duel.
Exactly.
Every so often you like to see those bats explode as we have another shot on goal just right through.
That's Cornejo with that one.
Right through the 5-hole, look like.
That was no shot at all. He went right through the 5-hole with that. He had no shot when it came to that.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough on the goalie. Goalie's getting to work out. I mean, we see this replay right here. She sets up, takes that shot, and excuse me, pardon me, on my way to the other side.
Indeed. Well, you know, they moved Cornejo to the other side of the pitch. So she was on the left side. Now she's on the right side. So she's showing her versatility as well.
As we know, the college coaches are going to look for you to be able to use your left foot and your right foot equally.
With her being the only senior on the team.
Yep.
You know, you're going to get some looks.
You got to get some looks.
Going to get some looks. You may be the only senior on the team, but you're going to get some looks because you are a senior leadership on a very young team that was soon to be 11-0 and could very possibly win state title in Class 5A.
Yes,
they are
they
just
could.
that good.
They are that good. Yes, they are that good.
That ball last touch by the Wildcats will be a throw-in for the Lady Sabres.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll take this. Let's toss in right here now, Chuck. And so we see the Sabres. And once again, the Sabres are putting maximum pressure on the Wildcats. As the ball goes right back to the center. And we turn it in. And there's another shot on goal just a bit outside. So this Sabre team is still being aggressive, even though the score is 10-0 at this time. And a little over a minute to play, we see the Sabre team still being aggressive. A little touch right there. We keep that ball on the right side. There's a nice little jostling right there. So there's a little life in the Wildcats. And back to the center again. Flora surveys and dumps it off to the right side of the field. And there's that shot up. And good job. Good job. We see that shot. So
hold on to it. Just hold on to it. Let her defense get set.
Get set, yeah. We'll take a look at this replay as it comes in. There's that shot on goal, and both hands are up. Good slow-mo right there. She knocks it down. And just as we watch the replay, another goal was given up at the same time. The replay cannot keep up at this moment. I think we'll see. Well, the gerbil is working hard. Here's the replay.
And it's the same script.
And there's another one about 22 feet, 22 out.
Yep.
Maybe the football team needs a field goal kicker. That was pretty good right there. And high.
It's the same script. Get the ball to the middle of the pitch, and good things will happen.
Yes, it's like any other sport. You get the ball to the middle of the field, and things happen. There's a lot of space in the middle.
Get the ball to the paint in basketball, things will happen.
Yep. You get that ball to the paint in basketball, right to the middle, and it's hard for the defenders to defend everything, all angles. Same thing in soccer.
Baseball, you hit a ball up the middle, chances are it's going to get through.
It's going to get through.
Chances are it's going to get through. So, and of course in football, you're on the middle post.
Yes.
You may get your head taken off.
That's possible. Well, not in today's game.
Not today's game. Yeah.
They protect you today.
So we're coming up on just about 15 seconds remaining here. The Sabres lead it 11-0. Our score is
10, 9, 8.
Our score is 11-0 here as we approach halftime.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen.
And that's our halftime. Did she score at the halftime?
Scored at halftime from 33 yards out.
Caught me looking down.
Here we go. Here's that
Here
replay. 31 yards out to the top,
to the
back
left
corner.
You can't do that. That's like hitting a hole in one.
That's tough.
That's tough. So that's going to make the score 12-0.
At the midpoint.
It's 12-0 here. As they're shaking hands. They're shaking hands. It looks like we may have called this game.
So, well, we're going to find out.
We're going to find out if there was a run rule.
See what happens.
I think there's a mercy rule here that we're not quite sure of yet. I'd asked you earlier if there was a mercy rule. That's going to be game. We saw both teams shaking hands. Coach Johnson may have waved a white flag.
May have said no mas.
No mas. No mas.
No mas. Duran showed up. No mas.
Indeed. Well, I tell you what, Coach, we have seen an offensive display
Yes.
of outstanding soccer. I've called a lot of soccer games the last 2 years. I haven't seen this many goals in maybe
No.
4 years in any of the soccer games.
Yeah.
So Sumner Academy remains undefeated. This has just been brutal, and Sumner came out all business.
I haven't seen anything like this until
I know
a
it.
long time ago. Little Rascals back in Frisco, Texas used to beat people like this.
I didn't see anything like this. Period. So the Sabres look to continue their win streak as they will take on J.C. Harmon in their next match, rather. So, well, we were going to say that was the whistle for halftime, but hey, the game's come close with the Sabres and the Wildcats. The Sumner wins at 12-0, and I'm going to say it's been a full half of energy. It's a few key plays and a few missed chances, but there's still plenty of there was plenty of game left to play. Cut it off at halftime. Now it's the teams that leave the field. We're going to share an interview with Markel Johnson had earlier with Washington's player Marilee Contreras and Sumner's player Van Zee.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Center Circle.
Okay.
I'm Markel Johnson.
I'm Van Zee. I'm a junior.
I'm Morelli, and I'm a junior.
All right, first question. What's been the biggest challenge this season?
I think the biggest challenge this season is definitely like not having that much help like on the field, like with like an assistant coach. Like I think that's definitely like needed.
So what's one of the areas you think you need to work on?
The areas we need to work on is communicating on the field and just playing as a team.
Why is communication important?
Communication is important because it will help us as a team know our chemistry together and help us further next games.
Same question to you.
I think communication is important because it will help us understand each other a lot more, and I think that's really needed when you're out on the field.
Hello, everyone. I'm Markel Johnson, and this is Center Circle, and I'm with
I'm Ashley Perez, and I'm a junior in high school.
Ashley. You guys have had a great season so far. What's the reason for that?
Yeah, we sure have. I would say we brought in, or not brought in, but a lot of girls who play club have come in and really made an impact on the team and really brought out the skills that they brought from their club teams. And I think this year we, in comparison to other years, like we've had more girls who have more experience, and it's really been showing on the field.
I love that. And your coach mentioned some goals. What were some of those goals?
Well, a lot of those goals is keeping the intensity up, because in our district, like, we're kind of dominating. Like, I don't want to sound like bad, but like we have been like playing good, and there's some games where, like all games, like there's always one game where the other team, the level of competition isn't as high, and I think sometimes we struggle to keep that intensity and like play like our game. So I think keeping the intensity up in games like that, and just knowing that we have bigger goals than like winning like district, like we've done time and time again. I think we have bigger goals, like going to regionals maybe this year, and really like pushing towards that goal.
And that was Circle Center with Markel Johnson, having a nice little chat with Sumner Academy's Ashley Perez, part of our Circle chat. We watched an outstanding offensive display of soccer, 12-0, where the Sabres dismantle Washington Wildcats.
Yeah.
Coach, I'm speechless. We just have highlights for Sumner.
We just have highlights for Sumner.
That's what we have. And so we're going to start.
And Washington's goalie.
Because it started early, less than 1 minute into this match.
Yes.
Sumner started scoring.
Yes.
And they didn't stop.
And often.
Yep, early and often. And here we see them right here lined up. This is one of the goals that they scored right off the bat.
It's fastball right down the middle of the plate right
Exactly.
there. That's a tough one. Tough one to handle.
And you and I, we talked about it. We commented on it the entire game. And they recognized the height of the goalie, that she can't get off the ground.
Yes.
So what is Sumner found that back, upper, left, and right corners
Place
a
the ball
lot.
high in the net.
Yep.
They place it high in the net.
They found it tough to do anything with this Sumner offense. Once again, we see it down low, and they can kick with either foot, left
Yes.
foot, right foot, doesn't matter.
Yes.
These girls can play soccer, and it doesn't matter how far out they are, the distance. We saw some 25. The last goal,
32 yards.
I mean,
That's a 32-yard field goal right there.
you don't expect that, and time was running out. I mean, I was about to read the next, go into our commercial break.
I was looking away.
Yeah, we weren't even looking, and they dropped one down. So, what can you do? What do you do? So that was six. We had counted where they had 67 goals earlier, and so now they are well over 70 goals per game. Well over 70 goals per game. So, hey man, 12-0.
12-0.
What can you say?
Let's see. We saw it at 67 goals, and they were up.
That was 7-0.
7-0,
So
8-0.
So they added another 5 goals to that.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of scoring right there.
I'm telling you, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, they really are. They're going to be tough to handle, and we didn't get a chance to see their defense today. But
Right.
when you're blanking people and shutting them out, you have good defense.
Right. Well, we're going to get a chance to see them again on May 15th.
Yep.
Well, they'll be right back here as they take on the Sligo Stallions.
Nice.
And so you and I and the rest of the Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools Sports Network will be here as we bring you more of the action.
Yep.
And highlight the district, highlight the players, highlight the accomplishment that the kids are making throughout the school, along with teachers as well. So thank you guys for tuning in for half of a nice soccer game. You've been watching the Kansas City, Kansas Public Schools Sports Network. I'm Chuck Holmes, Coach Larry Purnell, for everybody in the truck, all the production crew. Thank you guys. We'll see you on May 15th for our matchup between Sumner Academy and the Sligo Stallions.